shake your booties for black girl nerds.
Cynthia, I'm going to start with you. Queen Miriel this season is now dealing with the loss of her sight. And I wanted to know, how do you think that's going to impact her decisions? And also, how do you think she feels about her own authority?
Well, as we know, at the end of season 1, Miriel is blinded. She's weakened physically, but also in terms of her position or the perception of her position in Númenor. So when she returns and arrives, and we're at the start of season 2, to me, it's really about not letting her blindness actually diminish her and really having to project a sense of leadership and really conveying to her people that I'm still going to be the one to lead you in the right direction. There's still a real sense of moral center and compass and wanting to make the best decisions for her people. Now, she's going to be thwarted and challenged at every turn. But what was interesting for me this season about having to really kind of embody that blindness was, making sure that it wasn't something that, again, was about a weakening or a diminishing of her, that she was very aware, and I was aware as well, of the sense of she still understands the importance of projecting power and strength and leadership. And reassuring her people. But unfortunately, there are other forces at play that, are taking advantage of this sort of disruption in society. So there's definitely a very sort of high stakes political story to Númenor this season. And I really actually love the direction of where Miriel goes, certainly where I'm trying to take her, when I can. And it's the kind of stuff that I personally am really into, political intrigue and society sort of at a crossroads. And it's obviously, it goes without saying that that's a particular point of interest in this current life and times. And it's stuff that I just think is really meaty and interesting. So I'm excited for people to sort of see, Miriel's journey, but it's definitely a very, very high stakes ride this season.
I look forward to seeing those other forces at play and where her journey goes in season 2. Sophia, over to you. This season of Rings of Power, we have been told is a much darker season. In fact, it's been told to us that this is a villain's journey this season. And I'm curious to know, where does Princess Disa fall into all of that? What is her journey going to look like this season?
Well, end of season 1, the dwarves, Khazad-dûm, we were in a time of peace, and now that is all starting to crumble. And we see that Prince Durin, her husband, and Princess Disa have now been stripped of their royal title. So they've hit rock bottom, and that's how we open season 2, is that they are really struck out by the kingdom, who is the king, who is Prince Durin's father. And so we then see the forces of evil really start to come into play. And Disa is a mother and a wife and the princess, but also she has this gift, the gift of resonating, which is the singing to the mountains and the earth in order to kind of manipulate, move, communicate. That gift gets completely shattered, fractured, broken. She literally, she loses her voice. And so, again, much like Queen Miriel, my fearless queen here, it's being able to, against all odds, and kind of with stripped of all of our power, voice, etc., and with evil coming forward, it's as if, metaphorically, our tools have been taken away from us. How do you ignite the power within? So that's wisdom, integrity, loyalty, strength, empowerment, self-belief. How do you ignite all of those natural resources that are within us in order to defeat the force of evil? And I think that's what we see with Prince Disa. It's the ever beautiful relationship between her and Prince Durin. I love that union. And we fight together. But of course, the evil and Sauron coming into play just starts to meddle with people's kind of good nature. And so I think we see a slightly darker, ambitious side to Disa, which has been really exciting to play. A joyful Lady M, she's been described as a couple of times. So, but ultimately, she is good, and she is fighting hard to save her kingdom.
Darkness, loss. We're dealing with a lot this season too. Cynthia, back to you. Queen Miriel's journey, it seems like she's dealing with a lot of reconciling and reconciling with loss as well of her father. So would you say that we'll see a lot of that this season, of just her dealing with reconciliation?
I mean, I love that word choice, because I think, you know, there is deep sense of loss from the start. So not only the loss of her sight, the loss of her father, which also means a changing of the guard. She's going to go from queen regent, presumably, to queen. And the loss of her people, because she took them into a losing battle and they're angry. And so we see at the very start that, you know, when she is trying to kind of mourn the loss of her father and prepare for stepping into her new role as the proper queen, there are already people who are, you know, very verbally not making their feelings hidden. So they want her to know, like, you took our people into battle, you lost, you know, you took us into a senseless situation, and we have some feelings about your leading us, you know, into the future. So I think that's the most sort of dramatic aspect of just the start of season 2 for her. So it's going to be interesting to watch her kind of navigate her way through that. And she definitely, you know, I feel like I can tease this. She will have a sort of the ultimate test, is how I would phrase it. The ultimate test that I think will sort of clarify her position and her standing in Númenor. I think I can say that. I think I can tease that.
I love that tease. I can't wait for the compelling journeys that each of your characters will go through respectively. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I really appreciate the conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good seeing you too. Bye.
Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds.